We saw last time that Balsamico, Benjamin's guard, wasn't around after he said that he would take out Prince Hainberg. And this time we actually found out what happened with him after he prepared the assassination device for use. Anyhow, let's get into this chapter that I'd like to call a 4D chess battle. It starts on the morning of the 11th day, with Balsamico on his way to fulfill his assassination plot. He has knowledge of Hainberg's Nen ability, which boosts his allies and allows him to trade their bodies/souls with each other or himself with an arrow. And since none of them are around currently because of the trial or to patrol and stand guard, Hainberg is more vulnerable than usual. And as we found out, the TSK-17 only works on close-range targets since it disperses through the air. So Balsamico considers that it might affect a couple other people around during the trial. But it would be fine if Benjamin unleashes martial law and gets most people separated/quarantined. Of course, it's a lot easier said than done. Vict, a guard working under Benjamin but assigned to Hainberg, is behind Balsamico, and he conveys with hand signs that they know Hainberg's true ability. But while he's saying that, Hainberg's preparing an arrow to fire and swaps souls/bodies with someone. And the rumbling sound that was described in a previous chapter is finally revealed here, a sign of the Nen ability activating. Not only does Hainberg calculate the trajectory and compensate for any margin of error, but he aims for Balsamico's position. Benjamin questions what's taking so long to hear from Balsamico and regarding the trial, but it's been postponed by both parties for Hainberg's side. He asked for more time because of his poor health, which was something he had heard previously when Fugetsu was trying to deliver a letter to him. But this is where the 4D chess begins. Benjamin's men reported equipment failure, which was just code for they messed up and didn't kill him as planned. But he also wonders if there was a mutual attack, and that's why the trial was pushed to another date with both sides affected. So when Balsamico arrives, requesting to speak with Prince Benjamin on the phone, things get a bit tricky. Speaking with Balsamico, Benjamin is very careful to let him say everything and only ask for details to try and sniff out whether he's been manipulated or something else. And with Hainberg having passed out as soon as he shot the arrow surrounded by his followers, it's hard to tell who exactly is in what body now. So, to ensure Balsamico is who he says he is, he won't let them return to his post until he completes the assassination attempt. And if he fails, Benjamin will enact martial law to prevent any snakes from reaching him. It seems like he's being too cautious, but he's very smart and considered the danger of trusting Balsamico after that sudden change of events. And if Balsamico is actually Hainberg deep down, well, plotting to kill your original body to trick a fellow prince is pretty intense. For a moment, it seems like Balsamico's confidence that he'll kill Hainberg today makes him consider trusting him, and that would be a mistake. What with all the Nen abilities and beasts around. Keep in mind we've gone back to the events of the last chapter, but now from Benjamin's side of things. So he received the letter like before, but now we're more aware of why his guards were extra cautious of letting Fugetsu in with him. Then we get a short conversation between a queen and her son, Hainberg, and how she intends to back him and his choices, which is likely related to him switching bodies. But this queen is not the second one, which is who we were told was his mother. She's the first queen, the same who birthed Benjamin and Strategizing. Not only is this another bombshell since it ruptures the succession contest and the hierarchy, but the fact that it's written in Benjamin's letter and he pretended that there was nothing important to share, well, clearly he didn't want the information to be spread. Sure, Concho's letter says it's a rumor, but it's not something to take lightly. And that's what bothers him more is the fact that she found this information and not him and his team. Then we see the reactions of the other princes to their letters, with it being clear they also received leaked information. And yet, the 4th and 13th princes refused to read or even receive the ones meant for them. That's right, Strategizing rejected even seeing it. But there's a theory going around that he might have used a Nen ability to read it extremely quickly, and that's why he's told his people to toss it. Because he was done with the info. On the bright side, there's now distrust among the princes that can keep them from making any sudden decisions. As for the 13th prince, Mariam, he's been moved to a false version of this room thanks to his guardian beast's ability. And his guards were sent to his real room to make it seem like he's still there. And Fugetsu seems to be resting properly now that Basho helped her temporarily get rid of the spirits on her. She was not only getting drained of her life force, but it seemed like she couldn't sleep for long unless Kacho was with her. Meanwhile, in room 1014, Kurapika discusses how leaving the war results in death. But so can this succession contest, with some princes having already been assassinated. But unlike the no-win situation that it seems, with death or murder the only options, Kurapika sees this as an opportunity. He explains that he'd need her permission in order to enact his plan to keep the younger princes from being harmed. But we switch to Zhang Lei, still stumped with regards to his Nen beast and coins connected to it. He started with 10 coins, and he handed out 3 of them. And it's been days, but for some reason, a coin that had a value of 1 now says it's a 10. So with no other ideas, he calls his guards to help brainstorm what's going on with them. They've got some interesting ideas that the value changes every 10 days, or that it's necessary to look at the coins that were handed out, and watch if their behavior changes in any way. And of course, there's the chance that they'll steadily keep growing in worth, with it being a huge sum by a month or longer. But these are all things Zhang already came up with. So he's not too impressed. All that's left is to contact Kurapika, since he seems to be more informed and experienced when it comes to unknown Nen abilities. But let's get back to the mysterious confrontation between Balsamico and Hainberg. Kaiser discusses with a colleague about how Hainberg's ability can cause mass feigning, but then the people affected are back to normal after a short while. But what's unusual is that on top of the 10 followers being struck, someone else, not even in the same place or at the same moment, was also affected. And as much as Kaiser would like to pretend it's nothing of concern, it could be a big deal. So he asks about the person and their location, a certain Wario Bay. And just as planned, Kaiser interviews Wario to find out all the details. But to get him to relax, he also tells him about powers, which we know as Nen usage, and how leaving the ship triggers a response if it's one of the royals leading to death. And he offers an agreement with Hainberg, like with Tubeppa and Zhang, so long as he can help protect Prince Fugetsu. Wario shows the symbol on his hand, proof that he's an ally to Hainberg and also his connection to Nen. He follows that reveal with an even bigger one. Hainberg is going to die soon. Don't let the immediate cut to Benjen and Balsamico discussing the assassination being successful fool you. He insists that the proof will come in the evening, but we all know that Hainberg's been up to something. So yeah, Hainberg's body might be about to die, but his soul seems very much alive inside of Balsamico. And not only would that allow him to avoid martial law, but he could be around Prince Benjamin and take him down that way. But anyway, Kurapika's request turns out to be that they should reveal the contents in Prince Wobble's letter, seeing as all the recipients were given some kind of secret information. But the plan is also to continue Nen training and offering the special secrets for those who participate. But if you, like me, forgot about a certain Serahel, a guard for the second prince, who intends to kill Prince Wobble at the Nen classes, apparently it activates when she ends herself, which sounds frighteningly like the revelation that we just got from Long Qi and her siblings all being cursed and used as pawns. And who knows how many others have the same kind of plan in mind. But for the reason Kurapika wants to risk making the letter public is to see which princes will come forward, and offer a bargain, or threat, to keep the information from being public. At the end of the chapter, we see Kurapika heading to Zhang Lei's room, likely to help uncover the secrets of his coins. There's a lot to keep in mind for the upcoming chapters, but that's it for this one. If you liked the video, guys, please give it a like, and please let me know what you thought about this chapter in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.